bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and my schedule can get a little hectic. From softball practices to going to class, traveling for games, spending time with family, and catching up with friends, I am always on the go. I want a bank that can help me from anywhere, but also be there when I need them. That's Midwest Bank. They have the same mobile banking technology as those big banks, but have that hometown feel that I like every time I walk through the doors. They make banking easy no matter where I am. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine & More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of showers and storms, especially this afternoon. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high near 73. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms are likely with a low near 56. Tomorrow, showers and storms continuing throughout the day with a high near 71. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln. Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Mike, I've been thinking, our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer.
Blitz is on. Taylor picks it up. Fires. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Canadian Football League Grey Cup champion.
Taylor again, wide open.
And first-team All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
5 for Steve Taylor. That is a new Nebraska record.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
That's right, it is Wednesday, and Steve Taylor is back in studio here on Weekly Rap Sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. He's returning from a golf trip, and he looks like he did pretty well. He's got a green jacket on.
You like
Steve,
my
how you doing?
master jacket?
Yeah.
But hey, if I pass out and faint because it's Steve Sipple jacket and I have no blood circulating right now, this jacket is so tight and so small. But look at that. How do I look?
It looks nice. Yeah.
I have black on, though. I need to have
Yeah.
at least blue or yellow. Doesn't quite.
Yeah, that would
doesn't
look
quite
even,
go with the outfit.
even look better, but
man,
yeah.
This is awful tight.
Well, it might not feel good, but it makes you look skinnier, so it's a good deal.
It does?
Yeah.
I
there you
feel
go.
like I got huge biceps and forearms, dude. I feel great. You know what? Speaking of the Masters, I was out. I was on a golf trip last week. Absolutely fabulous. I had the best tacos ever at Briggs Ranch, the Dormy Network Club. Dude, they had these sausage, chicken, and steak tacos at the turn, and they were absolutely fabulous. The second day, I just said, forget the shell. Just give me the meat with guac and everything else on it. Dude, but I learned something because we were chatting about this. I learned something that I was so disappointed in not the Masters, but just CBS. Because we were golfing, and it was a great day, and the birds were chirping, and we saw deer, and we saw all this livestock, and they had these Texas Longhorns there. I fed that. And the guy said, that's fake. I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, yeah, it's artificially inseminated with the bird chirping.
Huh. So the CBS just plays bird chirping.
CBS times it perfectly to enhance the magnificence of the Masters.
Oh.
Have you heard that before?
I have not. I mean, I've heard. I follow wrestling. I know they do fake crowd noises there.
Follow wrestling.
So I know that it's done in places. I didn't hear about golf, but that does make sense.
It's so natural. It's so natural. Why would you have to do that?
Well, you can't point to the bird and say, "All right, tweet now."
Yeah, but I guess it's AI, and they prompt it and they inseminate it, and I was just so disappointed because they got me. I mean, I'm sitting there watching the Masters, and the birds are chirping right at the perfect time.
Yeah,
every time. I was heartbroken. It wasn't Augusta. It was CBS.
Okay,
we Googled it.
Yeah,
because one guy said he would be very, very upset if it was actually Augusta National that did that.
But so if you Google it, there's the stories about how they put it in there.
It was confirmed that they have done it in the past, and 1 or 2 years they did not. But they continue to do it to enhance the magnificence of the Masters.
Does it work? But it works for you.
Now that I know that it's fake, I mean, it's like that was the beauty of the Masters, that it was so perfect.
Yeah,
the grass, the whole the flowers, the magnolia, everything was perfect. The timing of the bird chirping was perfect. But now I know that it's enhanced.
It's all a lie.
It's all fake. Fake news. So anyway,
where did you golf, by the way? You said there was something like Longhorns and birds.
No, I actually fed these are weird creatures. Well, I think not that between the 5th or 6th or 7th hole, they have I'm not a cattle guy. I should know this stuff, but they have a bin that they have they have name Jose and something else. They actually have name. And I took a video of I've actually fed the steers. And dude, their Longhorns are like massive.
Oh yeah, you don't want to be gored by one of those.
But I'm trying to think, what's the purpose of them? They can't. I guess they can fight.
Yeah.
But your head. They were huge.
Yeah.
I would say they're probably the same wingspan of Neil Smith's arms. That's how long these 70-something inches these Texas Longhorns were. I mean, it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And actually, I fed them. I was nervous, believe it or not. But,
so they're off their housing is off the course.
No, it's on the course.
It's on the course.
It's on the course. They have their own bin, and they come out and they graze, and you can feed them as you're walking in between holes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Got a feeder there, and I did that, and they came and I got a video. I should show it to you. I was a little nervous. I never know how they're going to react.
Yeah,
but they're massive.
Yeah.
So
how'd your golf game go, by the way?
I tied for third.
All right.
I tied for third, but I won the most skins.
Okay.
And I won the most team matches.
So not too bad.
I hit the ball pretty well. Didn't score well, but I hit the ball very well. But I made putts when I had to.
Yeah.
Great. If you ever get a chance to experience the Dormy Network, you got to do that. the Peas have done a fabulous job with that.
Did you watch the Masters?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course I watched them.
Yeah.
Dude. I'm going to take a trip every year right after the Masters.
What's that?
Just because you're pumped, you're ready to go.
You're into it, yeah.
The weather here in Nebraska is wishy-washy in April, and you're all excited about it and everything, and you try to go out there and pretend as if you're playing in the Masters when you're really not. Oh no, so they had a great bunch of guys, Cal and Greer, my buddy DJ, and myself. We had one guy, my neighbor is supposed to go, but he came down with some huge virus and wasn't feeling well, so he had to bail. And my other guy that was going to go with us originally was walking down into the bunker and tore both his quadriceps.
You mentioned that before.
Yeah, in Nashville. So we had to find.
Is that chicken legs?
No, chicken legs. The other guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This was Nashville.
I said that would make sense. Maybe if his legs kind of just
if his legs slip because they're so tiny.
Yeah.
He only has what? How many feet or toes does chicken have? What do they have? 3, 4?
I don't know that. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look at that.
It's like a question a toddler asks you, and you just he's like, "What? I never thought of that. I'm not really sure."
I think they have 3, maybe 4. 3 and then 1 toe. I think
you count like the talon in the back.
I'm gonna go ahead and dig my chickens out of my Easter. I put all my Easter stuff away. I think they have 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was your Easter? Did you do any egg hunting?
No, it was very now like the Easter bunny does not have to come anymore at the Taylors. My daughters asked, and we kind of forgot deliberately, right?
Yeah.
But no, we go to Seward to my wife's and my wife's mom, my mother-in-law's, and we go to my Lincoln parents, Susan, and we had steak, so it was good, nice, calm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's better.
But apparently, I made some comment at the dinner that my wife wasn't very happy about the next day. So
well, yeah, that'll
I got
happen
scolded
time to time. Yeah.
So but yeah, for the most part, it was excellent.
Yeah.
It was excellent.
So,
I'm gonna take off this jacket, man.
Yeah, you're starting to lose it. We're starting to lose it. Yeah, I don't know. I guess Sipple brought that in, and it's been here all week and a half, I think, by now. Yeah, I haven't seen anybody else try it on. Maybe I'll give it a try later. I don't know where it gets.
What we're gonna do today, I'm gonna have some special guests. Two ladies I met at dining out on Wednesday Wings, and I like to every now and then get the pulse. I call it of Husker Nation, because you and I live in a vacuum. We live in a bubble, right? We're so close to the program, but I like to get a general feel of what the public is thinking about Husker football and players and all that kind of stuff. So the second half of the show, we're going to have them on, and we're going to talk about that and talk about spring football and all the changes, So, but for me, the hot topic has been lately is this Shedeur Sanders jersey retirement.
That's right.
Dude, Terrell Farley called me on my trip at 4:00 in the morning. He was so livid. He was so upset. I thought it was my wife or someone, right? Otherwise, I wouldn't have answered it. And he woke me up, and I pressed, I slid it, and I pressed OK. And then I saw T-Far. I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? So, dude, he was all upset about something that happened on the show either that day about the captain and the jersey retirement or whatever of Shedeur.
Yeah.
And then I was golfing the other day, and guys were talking about this. And my wife was coming at me about it as well. I'm like, first of all, why are you guys hating on Shedeur? And I even told Farley that, I said, dude, he won a major award.
Yeah.
So when you win a major award, the university has an option to either retire your jersey or honor your jerseys. Most teams do not retire jerseys anymore because, if you're really, successful program, you can run out of numbers.
Right.
Like Alabama, right? Or something like that, right? So they just honor their jerseys. So I said, in the story, regardless of what his record is, regardless of what they've done for the University of Colorado as far as attendance and all that and what they've done, the culture shift, they called it one guy did the other day. And I just said, he won the Johnny Unitas Award.
Yeah.
That in itself warrants your jersey being honored or retired in some capacity.
Yeah, it's interesting.
In the story.
Yeah. That could be the end of the story. That's what everybody likes to argue about.
So once I say that, they can't say that. I said, Tommy Frazier won the Johnny Unitas Award. That's why his number is honored. It's not retired, but it's honored. Right? Eric Crouch won the Heisman. Mike Rozier, Johnny Rogers, right? I even think the only jersey at Nebraska is retired, I think, is Johnny Rogers. And rightfully so, because he was the first. And then he brought it out of retirement for his son, Terry Rogers. So I said, in the story. And once I say that, they have no comeback. What was your thoughts on that? What were your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I was kind of intrigued by it because there were some, there are names in Colorado football history that maybe are better than Shedeur Sanders or had
you
better
can't
careers.
do it that way. What did they do? What were their accomplishments?
Well, and I'll just play devil's advocate because because I did think at first it was like, okay, you're kind of packaging with Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter deserves to have it. Yeah, there's no argument there. But then once I kind of did come to the realization that he won a major award, that's at Nebraska. If you win a major award, they'll put your name and jersey number up below the screen in Memorial Stadium. So
it's immortalized. It's right there.
Right.
You may even get a busk.
Yeah.
Right.
And he won. So he won an award. So that's like you said, that could be the end of the story.
It is the end of the story.
There, if that's what you want to argue, but. There's the argument that he didn't win enough games. His teams didn't win enough games, whatever it might be.
Okay, and I said, I told my wife, I said, what if Dylan Raiola wins an award? Right, and it hasn't happened yet, and we don't win a championship of some sort. And if you win an award, more than likely you're going to be a first-team All-American, which Shedeur was. He was a first-team All-American. On some polls, like I was, so it's all right there. So I said, how would you feel about that if Dylan was to do that? And we did not. Our record wasn't indicative of a successful career if we only got it that way.
Well, I think for a lot of people too, it would be okay. Honoring's one thing, retiring the jersey and setting it aside.
It's the same thing.
Well, I mean,
it's semantics. It depends on what you consider retirement. I mean, I get it, right?
Yeah.
I get that. So I don't know how Colorado's going to approach that. Are they going to retire it indefinitely or are they going to honor it?
Right now it's retired. Like you can't get the jersey number. But that's also like my biggest takeaway from it
and they don't have very many players that have done that.
All the time. They've got 6 retired jerseys now.
Okay. Yeah.
So you don't want to add them up too. Like you said, you get kind of.
That's only 6.
Yeah. But once you get up to 10, if you're going to retire everybody's jersey, then you're going to run out of numbers.
Yeah.
But it's not something.
At least a good number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's something that doesn't have to be permanent either.
No.
I think that's another thing. Is like you said, Johnny Rodgers has kind of been in and out of his jersey being retired. And it's something you capitalize on. He's going to be a first round draft pick, likely. There's been reports that he might be dropping.
That way,
right?
But he was the first team All-American on some polls, and he wanted Johnny Unitas.
Well, and there's just between him and Travis Hunter, they're like the most recognizable names in college football.
But see, I take that out of the equation because you have guys that are popular that may not have the accolades to go with it.
Yeah.
So I just look strictly at the standard and the statutes of a player's jersey either being retired or honored. And there are certain things that have to be done. And I had a good idea. I'm going to go to Haven and let them know that they need to install, not because I was one, but one thing that motivated me was they used to put your name on that number in the locker. If you're an All-American, first-team All-American, they had that on there. And I don't think they do that any longer. When I took a tour, I'm going to suggest they should get back to doing that.
Yeah, that would be nice.
It motivated me. So when you see those numbers and you see that, it just makes you kind of think about what you need to do.
You want to be the next guy on that.
You want to be the next guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so
it's funny because that was it was a hot button issue. Whenever he brought it up, people would text in because I just do think people have their difference of opinions on what level you have to get to reach the retired jersey status compared to honored and all.
I was really surprised because I was golfing the other day and just a common guy brought it up. The culture shift about the retirement of the jersey. I was like,
yeah.
And normally I'm old enough now, mature enough. I don't go there with it. But I did say, he did win a major award.
Yeah.
That in itself mandates you can have your jersey either honored or retired, depending on the coach.
Yeah. Well, they decided to retire it, and people are upset, but the Sanders don't really care, and Colorado had fun retiring it.
I don't think he really cared.
No.
Who wants to wear number 2 anyway?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was going to wear number 2 until Von Shepard had it.
Yeah.
That was my number in the freshman team. So.
Number 2 was, yeah.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I was number 3 in high school. I was 9 and 3 in high school. So I did like number 2 when I came here on the freshman team.
Did you, in the pros, did you get the numbers you wanted?
I should have. I got a stupid thing. I should have stayed with 9 my first year.
Yeah.
I should have stayed with 9. I was always upset about that. I was trying to do something different, and why?
Yeah.
But after my first couple of years at Edmonton, I went back to number
9. Oh, okay.
But I should have stayed with number 9. My fate probably would have been differently in Edmonton if I had stayed with number. But I didn't want to wear number 9 because Damon Allen wore number 9 and had won the Grey Cup.
Oh, okay.
So I went to number 10. which is a stupid number because I don't like that number. I don't know why I did that. I just went 1 up. Oh,
Yeah.
like, why did I do that? I didn't go 8 because Tracy Ham had 8. I'm not happy about that. That upsets me because I have pictures of my player cards has number 10 on.
Oh yeah.
I don't like
This doesn't look great.
It's just I was never 10, never liked it. I never should have done that.
Yeah.
Probably what happened to me in Edmonton. I wrote the wrong number. Because when I wore 9, everything worked out pretty good.
Yeah. You gotta stick with your number.
All right.
All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break. This is Weekly Wrap Sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. We're going to get the pulse of Husker Nation coming up next. We'll welcome in Tina and Kathy. So we'll have some fun, talk some Husker games coming next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
Get ready for the largest dirt late model event in Nebraska, race fans. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is heading to Eagle Raceway's High Bank Heist on Thursday, May 15th through Saturday, May 17th. See the greatest dirt late model stars in the country compete for $10,000 to win on both Thursday and Friday, and an enormous $50,000 to win 75-lap main event on Saturday. The High Bank Heist, May 15th through May 17th at Eagle Raceway. For more info, visit eagleraceway.com. Let's go Lucas Oil Late Model Racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Salt Mine City is not only Lincoln's newest brewery, but they're also now serving food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their peanut butter and jelly burger with bacon and cheddar cheese, or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. Don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 11 a.m. every day but Mondays at 8th and R.
Cinco de Mayo is May 5th, but the party starts early this year at Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina with their street festival on Saturday, May 3rd. Come down to 8th and Q starting at 1 p.m. on May 3rd and see llamas from Sweet and Sassy's Llama Farm until 4 p.m. and enjoy face painting and balloon animals with Miss Shades at 2 p.m. DJ Wyatt will entertain from 6 to 10:30 p.m. There will be drinks, food, and giveaways, and best of all, no cover charge. It's the early Cinco de Mayo Street Festival with Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina, Saturday, May 3rd, beginning at 1 p.m. at 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine & More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best they can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. Tailored Landscapes is on the brink of spring cleanups for all their existing customers, and they have limited spots available. They trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give Tailored Landscapes a call at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of their designers and stop by the Tailored Life store in Bennett.
Join Main Street Beatrice for their annual Beer, Wine, and Spirits Festival on Saturday, May 3rd from 4 to 8 p.m. with VIP entrance at 3 p.m. Enjoy an afternoon of live music and unlimited tastings of Nebraska beer, wine, and spirits at Envision Landscapes and Garden Center. There's something for all palates, and you only pay your entry fee. Food and snacks are available for purchase at the event, as well as off-sale beer, wine, and spirits from vendors. Tickets are only $25 ahead of time or $30 at the door. This fun day is for adults 21 and over only. Buy your tickets at mainstreetbeatrice.org or on the Main Street Beatrice Facebook page today.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
and electrical.
Wrestling fans, it's time to elevate your game, just like Stevens & Smith Construction does for your concrete needs. As your full-service concrete contractor, we deliver solid results every time. From singles to doubles, fighting for inside position to scrambling reversals, we know how to pin down quality and slam expectations. Stevens & Smith Construction, a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket, where Husker wrestlers bring you all the action. Don't stall, Stevens & Smith Construction is here to help you build a concrete foundation for the win. Check us out at www.stevensandsmith.com because stalling is a penalty and winning is the only option.
Now back to weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we are back here on weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. And he's got his guests in studio as well, Tina and Kathy and Chris, all in studio as we get the pulse of Husker Nation right before the Husker games here. Steve, I'll let you kind of get the conversation started.
I like to do because you and I and all the rest of the crew, we live in a vacuum, right? We live and die and breathe Husker football, and we kind of live in a vacuum. So when I was on the Big Red Reaction, we used to take a lot of calls from the general public to get how they feel about Nebraska football and what's going on. So it's Wednesday. It's only fitting. So it's Wednesday. You know what Wednesday is for me? It's Wednesday whiskey and Wednesday wings, right?
Yeah.
So we went to Tavern 180. And of course, my buddy, Cash Heavy Chris, one of the great loan officers of Lincoln Fed, he has like an apartment at Tavern 180, right? So he just comes on down. So we go there. And I'm upset because the Tavern 180 does not have wings, but they let me go to Tavern and order my wings and bring them over. So we do this probably every other Wednesday, if not. And we just have whiskey and wings, and we just talk. So anyway, we go there, and Chris knows everyone. Like, he does a gazillion loans, right? So he knows everyone in Lincoln. And I go out with him. I just sit there incognito, right? So anyway, we're sitting there, and he's ordering what's your favorite meal there?
Mardi Gras pasta.
Mardi Gras. Dude, it's the best.
And
What's
old fashions.
That's what he was doing.
Yeah. He goes through those quite a bit. I'm a whiskey guy, but that's whiskey too. So anyway, so we're sitting there, we're chatting, and there's two young ladies, right?
Thank you.
To my right, are sitting there, and we're talking. And we have to be careful because they have a great bar set up, and so we kind of let our hair down and we just kind of talk, right? But Chris, being the outgoing, gregarious guy that he is, he looks to his right and he sees these two gorgeous, attractive young ladies. I'm like, Chris, you're married. You know,
Yeah.
anyway,
So
right?
this is exactly how it went down.
So anyway, he just starts a conversation with these two, right? And so then we just start talking, and one thing led to another. But you got to hear this sweater story.
Yes.
Tina.
Okay. First of all, I have
Oh.
to correct you.
Okay. It's a, what's a
It was
hoodie?
on Thursday, and you had a makeup
That's
day.
right.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right. I just got back from the dormant club.
So you had to make up your
That's right.
wings on Thursday.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thursday is my makeup day. If I don't have tacos on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, Thursday is my makeup day.
We'll let that be the only
All right.
correction. So
Oh, that's fine. My wife corrects me all the time. So it was a Thursday, right? So anyway, we just start talking, and when I go out, people always ask me, "What do you think about Husker football?" What do I think? I was like, "Well, what do you think about Husker football?"
So
What do you guys think? Tell me what you think about Husker football right now.
Well, I like the way it's going. I
do?
I do. I think that there's a lot of promise, and I think what we were talking about.
Well,
too,
first of all, okay. How long have you been a Husker fan?
since 1980,
So do you go to every game? Or
I watch them at home now.
okay. Have you gone to spring games before?
No.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that. So you're not missing anything. Okay, so go ahead. You're a good fan. Go ahead.
So we were talking about I've traveled the world a lot with my husband, and he always wears his Husker. He has to wear his Nebraska pullover, windbreaker. And it's like, I bet we have every picture in every country.
Is that from the 80s? Because they have a
Yeah,
distinctive
well-
the 80s and 90s have a distinctive look with their Apex
starter-
jackets.
that
No,
Starter.
Yeah.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
don't know. I don't know how old it was, but it goes back a ways. Not that far, but
You did say at one time it was red and white.
it's red and white.
But now it's
it
like
just says
brown and
Nebraska across the front.
Okay.
And so we have pictures all over the world. But anyway, he was disappointed because we were in Amsterdam and we left the hotel and he realized he left it in the closet. And so he was like, that was his favorite piece of garment. So anyway, I don't think he's ever replaced it.
Did he
I don't
sleep with
think-
it?
No.
No? You wouldn't let him sleep with that?
No.
Okay, all right.
No, but the hotel, you call them up. We were talking about that, Chris, because you call up those hotels and they claim, oh, no, we never found it.
Never
You
saw
know very well it was taken. But anyway, he's really a pretty good Husker fan. So
Well, that came up
That's,
because you
I
guys...
went to Iowa State, so I'm
Oh.
kind of like.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
in engineering school anyway. So
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
play any football over there.
We'll give it. Iowa State's not a threat.
No,
so
I
we're
root
okay.
for Nebraska unless they pay Iowa State. They don't play them anymore, so it's like that's
That is true. So did you ever track it down and find it? No.
no, never.
So did you buy him a new one for Christmas?
No, I didn't.
Oh, come on.
Father's Day.
Yeah.
6 weeks away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
So
I should.
I hear you guys are off going to some vacation. Where are you guys going?
Yeah, I was talking to Kathy about it the night that you guys overheard our.
Now, where's the
conversation.
Husker red? Kathy has her
I
Husker
told
red
her
on.
to wear. I was wearing it.
It's okay. I like the jean jacket. I like the look at it. It's good. Both.
So yeah, I'm headed in less than 2 weeks to Italy for 2 weeks with some lady friends. So we rented a villa in the north in Tuscany and one down south in Puglia. So we had a call last night. We're trying to get it all put together, but yeah, it's
My wife wants to do that. Yeah, I was going to go a couple of years ago when they had the Ryder Cup there.
Yeah.
And she said it's too much golf. she wasn't going to do that. But your daughter was just that
Yeah,
way, right?
they came home on the 16th. So that's kind of how we started the conversation
Yeah.
because I heard
Yeah.
her
oh
talking
my
about
drops,
Rome.
my drops.
Yeah, and
Why are all the women taking all these
she had
great
these
trips?
drops to kill the wine experience or to not give her a headache. And so she said, I got to get prepared to go to Rome or to go to Italy. And then she mentioned Tuscany. And I said, my wife and my daughter just came back from there. So
Wow.
they were over there for a couple weeks as well.
You got to get some of these glasses, dude. Look
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Those
they're
are pretty cool
cool.
glasses. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like my
All you have
wife.
to do is, get to 50 some years old and not be able to see. And then you have to get glasses like
My wife has some glasses like that when we go out and eat. She wears them all the time, and she gets more compliments on these bifocals that she bought from Oprah, wherever they buy them from.
Yeah.
They look good on you, though, dude.
Thank you.
Look good.
Yeah.
Look good. So, are you going to the spring game or the spring
Husker
Olympic
game.
game?
This, what are you gonna? Yeah, what are they?
I typically had always gone to the spring games, but
So,
I don't know. I just
not going this year?
I'm not going this year.
I'm thinking about not going either, too.
Okay.
Well, it's not going to be. Well, they are going to scrimmage, right, Bach?
Yeah.
They're gonna
I don't
scrimmage?
think they've done a great job of PR because they originally said they were not going to, and now have come back and said, yeah, we're going to. But I think if they had never said we're not going to, then I think there'd be a lot bigger crowd coming this weekend.
So, did you enjoy the spring games when you went?
Yes, I did.
What was your favorite thing about it?
I don't know. It was just, well, a lot of people could go that typically couldn't go to the
That's
games.
true, yeah.
And after the games, after the game, I'd always go down and get a couple autographs.
That'll cost you now with NIL.
Oh,
Forget
that
I don't know if it's me and make. I would talk. I don't know. It depends. What do you think?
Anyway, get an autograph or get a picture with one of the players.
Yeah, that's
off on
true.
the sidelines. So it was just.
I think
it was a
that's
fun
the
day.
that was the best part about the spring game. Honestly, is the ability for those people that either couldn't afford it or couldn't travel or do that, got an opportunity to come to town. There's a lot more young kids and families that would go and make a day of it. And I thought that was their chance to kind of turn Nebraska football into a carnival for a day. You know,
my wife did say you can spend $60 and get a tour.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. I'm glad they gave
or
that.
just call you, right? Because you.
Well, yeah. So I give for half.
What's the new NIL?
I feel like I'm missing out now with the NIL. I
That's right.
gotta kind of recoup it
Steve
somehow.
Taylor charges 90, so
No,
that's 60
no.
to get you in the door and 30 for the NIL. He'll walk you through the whole experience.
I had a good friend of mine last year who worked with Nebraska Title. She did a lot of work, and her dad was ill, and so they allowed me to bring him through. Yeah.
Nice.
So, are you guys excited about this year?
Yes.
Or tell me what you're thinking. Like, how are we going to do? What's your? I have my own opinion how I think we're going to do. And Cash Heavy, Chris, can tell us what he thinks. But how do you think
Well, I've
you want
been reading about Dylan Raiola and how he's really conditioning a lot.
to?
What?
No, that's been a hot topic about him.
know,
So you pay
yeah.
attention to that.
Yeah. Well, I try to.
And he was only a freshman last
Yeah.
year. And, he did pretty darn good for a freshman, I think. And just don't cut your hair, though. Don't cut your hair like, what's his name? Mahomes.
You don't like that?
No, he looks
Be
good.
your own
He looks
person.
good. No, I like his hair like how Mahomes used to have it.
Oh,
Mahomes,
does he?
Mahomes cut
Cut
his
it all
hair.
off, yeah.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
He didn't like it. That's so now.
No, so
What is he gonna do now?
So Dylan, do not cut your hair.
Oh,
Are you listening, Dylan?
wow. What do you think? Should we have overs and unders on that? That Dylan cuts his hair. Cash, what do you think
I
about
think
that?
he's probably I bet you.
No, he will not cut his hair. He better not cut his hair.
Well, he's got everything else down: the headband, the whole,
Yeah.
the jump, the pregame,
The walk.
routine, the
He
walk.
walks.
The
Yeah.
So you pay attention to
the
that.
underarm
yeah.
throws.
Do you think that's okay, or do you think you think it's okay?
What do you mean?
Well, like he
Well,
emulates.
part of it, I want him to be his own person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But he's got somebody that he looks up to, and so maybe he's trying to follow that image, I guess. But
Because my wife thinks I'm a little hard on him with that.
But is he just being himself? Maybe he just seems like him, but he's not.
I don't know. That's why I like
So-
the general public's opinion because
Yeah.
I tell her like, no way I'm gonna go to that extent, that extreme, to look like another.
Well, you
player.
might as a young kid.
No, I wouldn't.
There was no, you weren't in the driveway ever trying to
I
shoot
never
like
walked.
Jordan
I
or-
never dressed and cut. Not to that extent.
Yeah.
What about you? Like,
No, I mean, obviously, I'm a golfer, so I try to emulate golfers. But but I've seen it over time, like Kobe Bryant trying to be like Jordan and people of that nature, trying to
valid
be
point.
like others, or wear the same jersey number or whatever for other athletes. So I think it's a compliment. I mean, I think you do grow out of it, which at some point, but so it's unique to have somebody in his position completely follow it like to a T. But I'm all right with it. I think it's a kid being a kid.
That's why I like to have these conversations because you guys bring a different perspective. I did like Turner-Gill. I wore my socks up higher because Turner-Gill did.
Whoa, so
I did do that. But that was, we did have a quarterback there that tried to say his cadence like very similar to Turner-Gill. I remember listening to that and I was like, well, I'm never going to do that. But so I get what you're saying.
Because you pay attention to quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You watch quarterbacks all over the league now. I saw it this weekend in UFL, which I might have been the only person in the country watching it, but I saw the quarterback calling Omaha. They're all at every level now. They're doing Peyton Manning's Omaha call.
But that's a coach.
for
That's a coach
audibles.
thing. Yeah. A coach. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, so they're audibling and using Peyton's cadence or call there, and so you see it all the time.
So if I tell my wife, I want you to look like, give me someone famous.
Oh, you better not. Yeah, no.
Who's Tom Brady's? Who's Tom Brady's ex-wife?
Giselle?
She was all on Google with the shirt and everything. So I should say, you should emulate her or something.
No,
I would not.
No,
do
you
not
guys
go
don't-
there.
You guys have a famous actress that you like?
No,
that's
you should not tell your wife to be like another woman.
That's a no-no.
She's perfect the way she is.
Yeah, I'm striking out there, right?
Yeah.
I would probably say something like that. Why would you be more like?
Yeah, you don't push it off on somebody
Okay.
else. This is an internal thing,
All
not
right.
an external thing.
All right. All right.
I also like that Dylan Raiola has been like going to all the events. Like he appears at the Husker baseball. I think he has basketball, volleyball.
So you like that too?
See,
Yeah.
the-
Yeah, I do.
That's
He's
a funny
supporting
one.
the Huskers.
That's a funny one with me because I 100 years ago I played golf for the Huskers and then I coached a little bit. And that's one of those things because I know rules all about it and going to the events. And I think that's a good thing for all the student athletes. And my wife says the same thing as you. She thinks it's great. And I keep thinking like wasted time. Like, what could he be in the gym? Could he be in the, I know he does all of that and he does everything at a high level, but I look at it as like, the discipline side, I don't mind the in-town stuff, the out-of-town stuff. I'm like, really? Like he has to go to Las Vegas to watch
Oh, yeah,
basketball
that's right.
team
He
and
was
things of
there.
that nature.
No,
Where
but
I'm like,
NIL
that
money.
might be a
You
little
go, I
much.
would go to Vegas. I tell my wife I would go to
Yeah,
Vegas if I had
yeah.
the cash, especially if I had access to a private jet. Yeah, I would have done that. So for 2025, I'm not going to be as hard on him when it comes to that stuff. Because I think it's great that they sign autographs. I would always sign kids' autographs. And he's another level, but I guess I'm just going to tone that down. I really am.
And the other
So
part
thank
there
you.
that we don't even think about is that, the NIL, what it's done for them financially, they have more freedom than, we have as student athletes. So
I have a
that's
question
part
for you
of it
though.
as well.
What do you think of the NIL and how does that? That's a whole nother story, I know, but in a nutshell.
I think it's great, and I'm happy for the kids, and it's long overdue. Who wouldn't want more zeros in their checking account, right? I would love that.
Yeah.
And I'm financially okay. I'm not rich or nothing. I'm okay, and I've had my successes, but it's a different world. I just saw on Google the other day the starting quarterback, had a Lamborghini SUV, and they were videotaping him. The Colorado quarterback, and he's just a freshman, right?
Hasn't even played it down.
It hasn't even played it down. It's the way of the world. And then my wife, I get a lot of information from my wife. Now that some institutions are going to start actually holding these kids accountable and going to execute their NIL packages, which I said this was going to happen. This is going to be contractual, right? I think it's great. That universities are profiting off of their name, image, and likeness. I think it's great.
Is it going to affect recruiting though? Is it like some schools are going to be able to offer more nil money?
Sure.
Yeah.
So
It's already happening.
That's why you guys got to step up like Bach so you can get that
Right.
collective shirt.
Yeah.
I think the minimum donation is what? $500,000, 500.
$10
And $1 million, you get actually a little pullover versus the red and white. So
We do got to go to the break, though. We do have one more segment left. We can continue to get the pulse of nation, but we'll take a quick break here on Weekly Wrap Sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine and More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
You know what's better than waking up early to go to the airport? Sleeping in. Lucky for you, the lines at the Lincoln Airport are so short and our service is so fast. You won't need to sacrifice precious beauty sleep to get here hours before your flight. So, go ahead, sleep in. You deserve it, and choose the airport that helps you relax. LNK, make flying easy.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn?
You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
If you're a veteran, our nation has created a wide range of benefits to thank you for your service, but it can be difficult to navigate the process of determining eligibility, filing claims, appealing decisions, and securing the benefits you've earned. Speak to your county veteran service officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. These services are 100% free, so visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
You grew up on cereal for breakfast and you graduated into drinking coffee at some point as an adult. Now there's a place in Lincoln where you can stay caffeinated but eat like you used to. Control Coffee and Cereal Bar brings Saturday morning vibes to every day with locally roasted specialty coffees, Lotus energy drinks, and tons of breakfast cereals with toppings. And did we mention they have video games to play while you're there too? Control Coffee and Cereal Bar open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Cinco de Mayo is May 5th, but the party starts early this year at Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina with their street festival on Saturday, May 3rd. Come down to 8th and Q starting at 1 p.m. on May 3rd and see llamas from Sweet and Sassy's Llama Farm until 4 p.m. and enjoy face painting and balloon animals with Miss Shades at 2 p.m. DJ Wyatt will entertain from 6 to 10:30 p.m. There will be drinks, food, and giveaways, and best of all, no cover charge. It's the early Cinco de Mayo Street Festival with Tipsy Tina's Taco Cantina, Saturday, May 3rd, beginning at 1 p.m. at 8th and Q in the Haymarket.
McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your place for English Premier League soccer. On Saturday, Everton plays Man City at 9 a.m., followed by Aston Villa versus Newcastle at 11:30 a.m. On Sunday, Man United plays Wolves at 8 a.m., with Ipswich Town versus Arsenal at 8 a.m. as well. Liverpool currently leads the standings with 76 points. You can find all this and more at McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket, your place for English Premier League soccer.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Now back to weekly rap sessions with All-American quarterback Steve Taylor on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That's right, we are back. We've got one final segment here with Steve Taylor, and on the week, and he's got his friends here, Chris Caffey and Tina in studio to help get the pulse of Husker Nation. Steve, I'll send it back over to you.
Dude, and we also learned that you did Coach Osborne taxes, and he made like what, $5 million one year? Really?
I cannot say
have all
what he
these
made.
connections?
We got to audit the conversation right now. That didn't happen either. Yeah. Right.
All right, so here's your opportunity. So, anything you want to say to Husker World, Husker Nation, or to your loved ones?
Oh, I would like to have a shout out to the ladies I'm going to Italy with because I'll probably send them this.
What are
show.
their names?
Oh my gosh, I can't think of them all. Well, one of them is Carol, my best friend Carol, and then all the rest of them I do not know, but I think there's Michelle, Kathy, Barb, and Ellen.
Are you guys gonna get wild and crazy and drink lots of wine? Because you know you had lots of wine.
Well, I'm
the other
taking
night.
some stuff with me for old fashions because that's really my favorite.
There you go. See?
You and
So
Kat.
anyway, but yeah, and to my
We'll sit
and-
next to each other.
yeah,
next time.
and a shout out to my family in Iowa and Illinois also.
Now, who knows the candidate that candidate for Zach Johnson, which my buddy Chris Elgert coached, right?
My brother, Brian, who lives in Tampa, Florida, he is a member of the Tampa Palms, and the caddy is a member of Tampa Palms, so he knows him.
So he doesn't really know him. He's just a member there. You actually
He
know
said
the guy that coached Zach Johnson.
That's true. So I have one up on my brother. and he's
Definitely.
from Tampa, Florida.
Is he a Gator fan or?
No, he's a true Husker
Okay.
fan.
All
He
right.
always comes back every year
All
for a
right.
couple
I think
games.
the Husker fans that are outside of the state are even more loyal than sometimes the inside the state ones. I know that's true from my friends that have left the state and are still just dire Husker fans.
So this time flew by. So we're going to have you on the show sometime throughout the season to see how your favorite Dylan is doing.
Oh, okay,
Right?
okay.
And we may have to place a bet if he cuts his hair or not.
I like it.
Right?
Let's pay some.
I'm going to
place
make
it.
a wager that he's not going to cut his hair. What do you think, Chris? He's not going to cut his hair.
Well, at some point he's going to cut his
Oh,
hair.
he's
but
not
I think
gonna cut it like-
I'll keep the look.
He's not
Yeah.
gonna. He's gonna
I think he'll keep the look.
He'll
He's
keep
gonna
his
keep the look.
style.
Yeah.
He'll
Okay.
keep his style.
All
This
right.
is his breakaway moment.
This is
you
this
know?
is this is his coming out moment.
That's right.
that
He's
we're
going to
see
keep
the-
his own hair and
All right.
turn it loose himself.
Bob, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to keep the look. He said that he's not trying to look like Patrick
Oh, he
Mahomes,
did
but
not
it's
say
hard to
that.
believe. Yeah. He wears 15 for Tim Tebow, not Patrick. That's what he says.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he should run like Tim Tebow.
That's right. Yeah. That would help.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for coming on the show. I hope you had a good time. And we're going to follow this up sometime throughout the year to see how the Huskers season are going. So I'm not overly critical on the Huskers and particular players. And Cash Heavy is going to keep me in line.
That's right. And then we'll hear about Rome or Tuscany and Rome.
Yeah.
All of Italy.
Maybe some of it.
What happens in Rome stays in Rome. All right.
All right. One-on-one with DP coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
Thank you.
Get ready for the largest dirt late model event in Nebraska, race fans. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is heading to Eagle Raceway's High Bank Heist on Thursday, May 15th through Saturday, May 17th. See the greatest dirt late model stars in the country compete for $10,000 to win on both Thursday and Friday.